But listen,
Respectfully, Your Honor,
Miss Pugh,
when
don't speak over me.
incarceration
Miss
is
Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen, Miss Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me.
where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
You can go back with the bailiff. Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it.
All right, guys, today we've got a no-nonsense judge facing off with a classic sovereign citizen, and it gets intense. This defendant came in holding a small piece of paper filled with the usual sovereign citizen language, clearly thinking she could walk in, say a few buzzwords, and walk right out without consequences. What's surprising is that she seemed fully confident this would work, but as we all know, that's not how the legal system operates. This one's going to be interesting for sure. Let me know in the comments what you think about her approach. And let's dive in to see how this heated hearing unfolds.
Good morning. Are you Janetta Pugh?
I am the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the what?
I am the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the beneficiary of what estate? Answer my questions, please, ma'am. I'm just trying to understand.
Beneficiary of that estate.
Okay.
For the record, I recognize Ms. Pugh. She's been here before.
I do as well, for the record.
And I looked into Mr. Christopher Wiley. I can't find that person as a practicing lawyer in the state bar page, and I have not been contacted by anybody on Ms. Pugh's behalf.
All right. So, Ms. Pugh, Mr. Lewis has been appointed to represent you at this point. Obviously, you know as well as anyone that you're in custody and we want to get your case taken care of. If you've hired or your family has hired another lawyer, then they have to contact the court so that we can do something with your case. And do you know if they've hired someone?
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree with your appointed foreign agents, considering that the first duty is to the state and will be considered conflict of interest. Your Honor.
Okay, so if you don't want, the only thing I can do, I'm appointing an attorney to you to help you, right? So if you don't want a court-appointed attorney, then your only option, two things. One is to represent yourself or to hire a lawyer. So if you don't like the way it works, then you do something different. So are you, listen to what I'm saying. Are you either going to represent yourself, or are you going to let Mr. Lewis represent you, or are you going to hire someone?
Objection, Your Honor. Respectfully, is this a court of record?
It is a court of record. So your objection's overruled.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
It's right here. It's called an indictment. And Mr. Lewis has a copy of it, and he can show it to you. So that would be the verified claim against you.
Okay. Your Honor, respectfully, Your Honor, there were writs that was filed to the case that still haven't been received.
I've received your petition for writ of habeas corpus, and it's denied.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, I demand to be released due to lack of evidence of stated claim and not being given the proper opportunity to obtain proper counsel, defective defense.
It's overruled.
Okay.
You're running out, aren't you?
No, it's fine.
Nope, this is definitely not going well for Hirsch. Making a complete fool of herself, and honestly, it's kind of hard to look away. That said, I'm really enjoying how the judge is handling all of this. She's just sitting there calmly, letting this woman run through her entire sovereign citizen script. It's both frustrating and hilarious because these folks always act like they've discovered some hidden legal loophole, but that's just not how the law works. Courts have ruled time and time again that saying things like, "I don't consent," or "no contract doesn't make charges vanish." That's simply not how jurisdiction operates. What's wild is that this woman actually seems polite. She's saying, "Your Honor." and keeping a respectful tone, but she's also clearly lost in this mindset. I do wonder how she even got to this point. What was going through her head? She seems like a decent person, but this whole approach is just embarrassing. It's one thing to read about sovereign citizen ideas, but standing in court and trying to use them? That's a whole different level. I honestly don't get it. Let me know what you think about her in the comments. How do people end up this deep into something so clearly flawed? All right, let's get back into the hearing because this one is far from over.
So here's the thing, Miss Pugh. I appreciate your position, but listen,
Respectfully, Your Honor,
Miss Pugh, don't speak over me.
Respectfully, Your Honor, for my incarceration being
Miss
involved-
Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on, listen to me. Everything you have there is overruled. And here's one of the reasons why, is because you have a lawyer. And your lawyer will file the appropriate motion. You're interrupting me again, which is disrespectful. So I'm going to leave Mr. Lewis as your attorney unless you choose to represent yourself or hire someone else. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to determine what you're going to do. You can go back. You can go back with the bailiff.
I do not agree or comply to your appointed
Go back.
agents.
You already said that, and that's overruled.
Duty is to the state.
Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it.
Yeah, that was definitely hard to watch, but hold on, it's not over yet. Believe it or not, this same sovereign citizen comes back in a later hearing. And don't worry, I've got that footage ready for you too. At this point, I feel like the judge honestly deserves an award for patience. Dealing with someone like this is like trying to argue with a wall, except the wall thinks it understands constitutional law. Seriously though, credit where it's due. The judge is staying calm and focused, trying to make sense of all the confusion. She's firm, she's clear, and she's actually showing more patience than most people would in that situation. What do you guys think so far? Personally, I think she's handling this incredibly well. But let's keep it going and jump into the next hearing to see if things get even more intense. Let's dive in.
Perfect. So, Miss Pugh, Mr. Jeffries has been appointed to represent you. He's trying to get caught up real quickly on all the information and the discovery in your case. I'm going to reset your case so that he can get all of that. Once he gets it, he'll be out there to go over it with you, and we'll see if we can get an announcement at the next court date.
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree to comply with any of your appointed court agents, considering that their first duty is to the state.
I understand. We've had this conversation before.
Confidential. And for your record, I'll be representing myself.
So if you want to represent yourself, there's some things. Ms. Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me. If you want to represent yourself, then there is a process that we have to go through, and we'll do that today if that's what you want to do. We'll get your case set for trial and we'll go forward that way. It is highly inadvisable for you to represent yourself. Lawyers have many, many years of training. They understand the law. They understand how a trial works, because here's what happens. When you're in a trial and you represent yourself, you're expected to know and follow all of the rules of evidence, all the rules of procedure. And so you're really at a disadvantage if you don't know those things. And so you have to do everything just like the assistant district attorney would. And if you don't, you're going to be in front of a jury and it's going to show, and it's just not going to be, it usually does not work out in your benefit. But I have to go through with you some questions first before we do that. And then if you still want to do that, then there's a couple of options, and we'll go over those as well. Okay. So I am supposed to ask you, I'm going to go through these questions. I need you to answer them if you want to represent yourself, because this is required. All right. So have you ever studied the law? Okay. Have you ever represented yourself before in any kind of criminal matter? Okay. Do you understand the charges against you? Okay. And so do you know, and we've gone over before, I think, what the range of punishment is if you're found guilty on a jury? Do you know what that is? Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me pull you up here. We'll go over that again as well. The date of that allegation is from June 22nd of 2021. And what that means is if you're found guilty, that the range of punishment that the jury could give you is between 2 years as a minimum punishment up to 10 years in prison, anywhere in between. Do you understand? And you answer out loud just for the record.
Do I understand? No, I don't understand.
What do you not understand about that?
I'm not even kidding. I knew exactly what she was going to say right there. At this point, I feel like I've watched so many of these sovereign citizen cases, they've started to live rent-free in my head. Breaking down this kind of behavior every day honestly wears you down. It's tough to watch because some of these individuals might be dealing with real mental health issues, but beyond that, they're also wasting valuable public resources, courtrooms, and law enforcement have limited time and staff. And when someone comes in spouting legal nonsense, it only slows everything down. That's a big problem. On another note, I was kind of surprised she didn't bring that little script she used in the first clip. Maybe that time in county custody made her memorize it. But seriously, if she tries to represent herself in this case, she could be looking at 8 to 10 years. Let's jump back in and see what happens next, because if she's going to take this on alone, things might not end well for her.
I don't understand, Ronnie.
So here's the thing. If you want to represent yourself, by law, you have to be able to understand these things. Otherwise, I've got to appoint an attorney for you. So you can't just say, I want to represent myself because I don't like the attorney or I don't like the process. This is the process that you're in. You live in Texas, you live in the United States. This is the law that applies to your case. So what do you not understand about the range of punishment if you're found guilty? And I'd be glad to explain it.
I don't understand because I have no idea anything wrong.
That's what a jury's for, right? And so if you say you're not guilty, then you go in front of a jury and they determine, after they listen to the evidence, if you're guilty or not. That doesn't have anything to do with if they find you guilty, you understanding that they could send you to prison for between 2 years and up to 10 years. Do you understand that part? What are you, yes or no? No, you don't understand that. So, Ms. Pugh, it's my understanding, I'm not going to allow you to represent yourself because you don't understand the law and the process. So we're on question number 4 out of 15 that I'm supposed to ask you. So Mr. Jeffries is going to stay on your case.
I don't know when Mr. Jeffries on my case.
I don't care what you want at this point. You can't do it. All right, you can go back with the bailiff. I'm done. Go back with the bailiff.
He's not on my case.
Go back with the bailiff.
He's not on my case.
Welcome to the criminal appointment list.
Yeah, fun, Judge.
This was not meant to be any kind of punishment, I promise. So Mr. Jeffries, get ready like you would. Probably it's going to go straight onto a jury, and we'll just get it figured out that way. All right.
In my opinion, this judge handled everything perfectly. I'd give her a solid 10 out of 10. Let me know if you disagree, but honestly, she did everything she could to give this defendant a fair hearing before finally having her removed from the courtroom. The amount of patience she showed was impressive. I know I would have probably lost my cool after 10 minutes. But the judge stayed calm and professional throughout. At the same time, it's a bit sad to watch these moments play out. The judge genuinely tried to give this person every chance to explain herself, but it was clear from the beginning where things were headed. And I just want to say apologies if watching this left you feeling mentally drained. These sovereign citizen cases can be incredibly frustrating to follow, but they're also oddly fascinating. The way some of them try to talk their way around simple facts is something else. You could almost see this defendant's mind racing. He's trying to come up with some kind of response to each question, but nothing was landing. It felt like watching someone try to dance out of a corner without knowing the steps. It just wasn't working. Let me know what you thought about how the judge handled this one. Drop a comment. Tide. Love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. I post new courtroom clips and breakdowns every single day. Thanks so much for watching, and take care.